Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Purple Friends. I'm your co-host, Co.
And I'm your co-host, Joe.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a nice last couple weeks here. I certainly have. Have you?
Definitely. It's been actually nice.
Cool. Well, once again, we're here to... I don't know why I'm talking like this. Once again, we're here to bring you some mental health stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I feel so much better. I feel like I just took my bra off my voice.
You put that there on your own accord.
It's because of awkwardness sometimes. Shall we? Oh, what are we talking about today? Should we even give a preview?
Well, yes, our listeners know that today we're talking about personality assessments. Yes, because last week we talked about personality, and the week before that we talked about temperament. So we're kind of, continuing a little bit of a series here, temperament being the foundation, personality being the house, and I guess the assessments being a little bit of like the decorations and furniture inside the house.
Yeah, and, some people can go a little ham on those decorations and furniture and make their house look pretty dang ugly. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about and how you use the personality assessments.
You know what? Yes, absolutely. How you use personality assessments, I think, will be kind of like the takeaway for today.
Yeah, totally.
But before,
first,
Little Gratefuls.
Little Gratefuls, please let me hear it.
It has come to my attention that I had a repeat Little Grateful.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm so glad you're addressing this. Thank you so much. Our listeners deserve this address. Thank you.
Yes. Here's the problem. I have a Little Grateful for today, but I have a second Little Grateful that I'm not sure if that's a repeat.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe not. Okay, so I have a replacement Little Grateful for the one from last week.
Okay.
Which is blind boxes, because I'm still very much on that trend, which is horrible. But yeah, I still like blind boxes. I got one today, and it's just fun, and I think they're cute.
Yeah.
And don't judge me.
We can't judge you for your Little Grateful.
I was thinking that maybe I had done Labubu's at one point, and I'm pretty sure I have.
I'm pretty sure. Well,
I'm pretty sure I have.
Maybe. We've definitely talked about Labubu's. There's a highlight floating around out there about us talking about Labubu's.
But now I've expanded my tastes. Recently I'm into little Mollies, baby Mollies.
Yes.
This all sounds like buffoonery. I mean, like, even when I was talking about Labubu's, it felt like I'm speaking a different language. Yeah, I got a Teletubby for my birthday. It was great. I mean, like, they're just fun little things. Anyway, so that's my replacement. My real one is going to come after your real one.
Oh, okay, cool. I have a super tiny one, and it is the super tiny part A of my grateful is when you said buffoonery.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that a lot. And the main part of my grateful is I'm so grateful that I got to go on a very special birthday outing on my birthday.
I loved celebrating your birthday last week. It was so fun.
Yeah. I got to do so much stuff. We went to the mall, one of my favorite places.
Which is where we went today.
Yeah, that's true.
And both times I got a fucking blind box. It was my birthday too, I guess. Sorry, continue.
I definitely, we went to the bookstore. We went and got a meal that fit my incredibly restricting dietary limitations. I don't know if we've talked about this, but I can't have garlic, which if you go to a restaurant and you tell them you can't have garlic, they look at you like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
that's in everything.
It's like, well, good luck.
Yeah.
But we had a good time. We even made light of the garlic situation.
We sure did.
We went to the movies too.
Yeah. We saw Project Hail Mary. Yeah. I was looking at my Little Grateful here, and I was like, what does PHM stand for? Dang, I hope I remember Project Hail Mary.
Seems like you wouldn't have.
I know, right? Thank you so much for your help. But yeah, oh my gosh, that was a good movie. I really enjoyed that movie. Love Rocky.
I've been really enjoying our little outings at Oakbrook Mall recently.
Yeah, it's getting nice out.
Yeah. It was one for Corey's birthday and then one today. We took Amari to see Super Mario Galaxy.
Yes. Which was fun.
Yeah. I went to Pop Mart again, and I got the batteries on my swatches replaced, which is crazy. I mean, because now it feels like I have 5 new watches. Back in 2017, 18, I bought a ton of swatches. I don't know. Do people know what Swatch is?
I don't know.
It's just a brand of watch.
Yeah.
They're kind of silly.
Yeah. They have a lot of really fun faces and stuff like that. What's the one you're wearing right now?
The one I'm wearing right now is an onion.
A cut, or a cross-section cut of a red onion.
Yeah. We can post it on our story.
Oh, yeah, totally. When we took it to the Swatch store today to get it the battery changed and everything.
Yeah, there were so many comments on it.
People were like, oh, classic. Oh, red onion. Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But I guess, I'm certain Swatch is an old brand.
Yeah.
I think it has some sort of reputation. I don't know what it is besides the personal reputation I have with it, but
yeah, we like getting those little Swatch watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like a new one.
Good to know. Mother's Day coming up.
Alrighty. Shall we get into it?
It's time.
Yeah, we both did 3 little gratefuls.
Yes, seriously.
Anyway. We're just really grateful.
Yeah, I have a lot to be grateful for right now. And also, this is the largest stack of papers I've ever brought to this podcast. This is double the size of what I brought to our autism episode.
He's saying buckle up, buttercup.
Yes, I'm saying this. I don't know. Who knows how long this one's going to be?
Can't be that long. Our child's sitting right there.
Yes, and who knows how long she'll be entertained. Okay.
Yeah. She's reading a book, though, so that's great.
Not a very long book, but we'll see.
I know, she's on the last page.
Oh, no.
Last flap. Okay, anyway. Just kidding. Shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's define personality.
For those of you who don't remember from last week, or last episode, personality is a collection of patterns in thinking, feeling, and behaving. So how we respond to the world.
Yeah. And really importantly, personality is a construct. That's something important to say about temperament as well. And what that means is, let's use an example. So think of a map. A map is a representation of the Earth, and we use it to understand and navigate terrain and everything. The map might have a label that says something like Midwest. Midwest is a construct. It's a label that we came up with to describe this location in relation to other locations. So if you go out to the Midwest area, you can see and touch dirt and trees. You can feel the wind. You can feel the humidity, and all of that's real. But you can't grab a piece of Midwest.
Yeah, you can't grab that borderline.
Yeah, so it's a label created by humans to make something that's really detail rich into something that's simpler to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the opposite of blood type. We've talked about this before. Introvert and Enneagram, those don't have biological markers. We're talking about categories created by people to categorize other people. And I think that's really important to remain in our perspective.
Yes, that this is all constructed, like Corey says. It boils down to our brain's wiring, right? We are wired to create schemas to make sense of the world, right? And so this is our attempt, multiple people's attempts, as you'll see, multiple different facets in which people are trying to organize very complex, infinite behavior.
Yes, and often section it up and categorize it into a schema of their own design.
Right.
Just this person thinks that personality is these 20 categories. This person thinks it's these 5 categories. There's no right or wrong answer. Some of it has more evidence to back it up. If you're just hearing this, we got interrupted by a 4-year-old. So moving on. Let's talk about some misconceptions. I think that personality tests have tons of misconceptions and misuses and stuff like that.
Yes, I do think that generally speaking, a lot of people take them with the hopes of finding answers. And not just answers, but a diagnosis even. They'll take it and be like, oh, this is my answer to everything. And this is where I'm torn, right? Because there is this motivation to know more about yourself, which I do think personality tests could be a form of that.
Yeah.
But it is not at the end all be all. It is not the results to a blood test that we had talked about previously,
Yes,
right?
it's not a diagnosis.
It's not a diagnosis. It's not anything definitive. I think it kind of bumps up against one of these misconceptions that it's static, right? That like once you've taken the Enneagram, that it should remain the same, for example, or that like the MBTI, your letters should stay the same throughout your whole life. And that's simply not true. You know, maybe there are some things in our life that are maybe more stable and consistent throughout our life. But that doesn't mean that it's healthy either way.
Yeah. That also bumps right up against, like we were talking about, it's not a diagnosis. A lot of people use these tests to like self-diagnose or also like excuse problematic behavior. Like, oh, I'm just a jerk because I'm an ENTJ.
Yes.
Like, you know, just like ignoring your agency or your growth, just assuming like, yeah, I was built this way. I'm just a jerk.
And here's a question. I guess what separates this construct, right? Like results from a personality test from what separates that from a diagnosis?
Right.
And some of you might be asking that. And it's like, in reality, they are all constructs, including diagnoses.
Diagnoses are constructs. Absolutely.
It is doctors and scientists and researchers' way of categorizing certain behaviors and patterns so that there's a facility in talking about it, in treating, in understanding.
Yeah. Because that's how science is. You need to have serious labels so that you can do repetition and get the same results.
Yes. And so there is that element that maybe separates it, although some of these personality tests, I think, have had a lot of data behind them as well.
Yes.
And so I say all this to say that I think a lot of the things that maybe I believe also probably extend to diagnosing, you know, and we've talked about my opinions with diagnosing.
Yeah, we actually have a whole episode about diagnosing. You should definitely listen to it.
So anyway, I just wanted to voice, I guess, my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I feel very similarly both with results of the personality tests and results of diagnosing.
Yeah, totally. Well,
let's get into some.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about some in a little more detail.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of them. And then later we're going to talk about projective tests too. Or do you want to talk about those first? Later?
Well, no, let's talk about those later because we'll talk about maybe astrology then too, and like the StrengthsFinder and all that.
Yeah, StrengthsFinder, yeah.
I'm excited to talk about that.
I'm excited to hear your input because that one cost money. I couldn't take that one.
Oh my God, you're going to love my story.
Oh, good.
Anyway.
And you know, the other human design is also kind of like...
Yes, like woo-woo.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
So really quick, the 7 that we're talking about, we're talking about the Enneagram, which is like if you've heard people say, I'm a 4 or it's like 1 through 9?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yeah, it's like I'm a 1-wing 9.
Yes.
I'm a 7-wing
5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then the next one is the MBTI, which stands for the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator.
Which you might have, you know, heard of, like people being like, I'm an INFJ or whatever.
Yes, yeah. And there's a really popular, very similar test online called the 16 Personality Test, which is really, it's like a combination of the MBTI and this next one, which is called the Big 5. Which we talked about in our previous episode. If you remember the OCEAN acronym or CANOE, it measures your openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. And then the 4th one is kind of a viral color personality test from K-Test 1 in Korea. And then an attachment styles quiz, because people use those as personality quizzes, even though it's not. And then, of course, like we just said, human design and StrengthsFinder. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. So the first one we talked about is the Enneagram. I feel like this is one of those that I felt when I first heard about it had like more credentials.
Yes, it is presented as being pretty robust.
Yes.
But like, well, you start.
Yeah, like
you tell me your perspective, and then I took 5 of these, and I will bring that after.
I took this exam. I don't remember with confidence what I got. I believe I'm a 7, which stands for enthusiast. I think you're easily bored and whatnot, which is, you know, on par.
Yeah, totally. I can see that. When you don't have anything to focus like on hobby, you get stressed out.
Oh my God, I finished a book the other day.
And then spiraled looking for another one.
I never gave y'all my actual little grateful.
Oh, did we skip it? Okay, big pause.
Okay, the reason why I brought it back is because my little grateful was that I finished a book.
Oh, nice.
And I just talked about how I finished a book the other day and how depressing that feeling was when you don't have a book to read anymore.
So you're grateful for the feeling right before that feeling.
Yes. Yes. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. I like a little mid-episode grateful.
I know you do. I knew you wouldn't have,
Heck no,
any
no problems
with going back. Yeah. But yes, no, that feeling of not having a project or something to do to occupy my hands and my mind really stresses me out. Mm-hmm. Which also, I believe, in times of stress, I think I'm something.
Okay,
which
so
is,
let's
which
talk
is
about
a
that.
Perfectionist.
So when you take the Enneagram, you're given a core number, which Jocelyn said yours was what, 7?
7, I believe.
And then you also get a wing number, which is like which adjacent number is like close, also like contributes to your personality. And then after that, there's also you have a growth number, you have a stress number, and you also have like a triad thing, which gets a little astrology.
Can I see this? Like, because it looks like a star. Like, if you look at it, I mean, honestly, when I first saw it, I'm like, this is some satanic bullshit. Like, it kind of looks like a pentagram.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just. Yes, the enthusiast.
A noventagram.
And let me see. I'm sorry. I'm just looking here. The sage, intellectual perspective, independent, blah, blah, blah.
So you mentioned you had a stress number. Stress number is like when you are really stressed, you revert to like the bad version of a different number. Mm-hmm.
So for me, I believe it was a number 1, which
that was your stress?
Which in times of stress is Perfectionist.
Wow.
Because I do get very perfectionistic and focus on those things and kind of get really stuck on those things if I'm stressing out. And it's like, I do not need to be like knuckle deep in these beads. Like I do not need to be spending my whole free evening unwinding this ball of yarn, Anyway. Frogging the project 3 times. Anyway.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I think it'd be in a good use of our time to go through the 9 types.
Yes.
As long as we're talking about this. So the reformer is number 1, which, as you mentioned, has like...
It's like a bike. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like a bike?
No, sorry. The reformer is a Pilates machine.
Oh.
It's not a Pilates machine, sorry.
So on the good side, it's like honest, reliable, productive, principled, idealistic, fair. And on the other side, it can be like perfectionistic and like that kind of stuff. Like all of these have like a negative side too, where you can like overdo it. Okay, so the reformer, the helper, so helpful people, the achiever, so success-oriented, driven people, the originalist, which are expressive, compassionate people, the sage, which are intellectual and perceptive people, the loyalist, who are loyal, the cautious, likable, and the enthusiast, which is obviously enthusiastic, fun-loving, the challenger, self-confident, bold, direct, and the peacemaker, agreeable, easygoing, diplomatic. You mentioned you were a 1. I'm going to go over mine later.
Yes, please go later.
Oh, should I go over it now? Yeah, it might be. It makes more sense, right?
Go over it now.
Okay, so I was number 4. I was a 4-wing 5.
4-wing 5.
Yeah, which means that I'm the originalist, which if you don't remember means I'm expressive and compassionate. My wing is the sage, which means that like I also have a need for solitude, introversion, that kind of stuff. And then my growth was the reformer. My stress was the helper, and yeah, that kind of stuff. So
the stress. You being a helper in times of stress makes total sense.
Tell me about that.
Sometimes you might be having a hard day, and then if I'm having a harder day, you suddenly have the capacity to have a great day.
Limitless energy to help you.
Yes.
And it improves my day so much.
It's funny. It sometimes I'm like, this is bad. This is gonna create a cycle in where I have to have a bad day to help you feel better.
Luckily, that has not happened.
Although I have thought of like little projects that would help.
You know what? That genuinely does help, because as you know, my love language is acts of service. So I really feel like I'm giving love. Yeah. According to one of these other useless tests.
Yeah, it's
that
funny.
One's even more useless than the most useless ones on this list.
Which one was
the love?
The love.
Some dude named Greg or whatever, Jeff. So here was a really specific thing that it gave me for being 4-wing 5. So 4s with a 5-wing tend to be more contemplative. Positive tendency is you're objective, quiet, and unconventional. Negative tendency is you're alienated, withdrawn, or pessimistic. Which, I mean, I can see that. But yeah. I mean, that's the freaking Enneagram.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of like, this is your zodiac sign.
Oh, well, and this is what I was going to say, is that like, you gotta stop rustling.
Mm-hmm. So sorry.
That's what I was thinking about this when you were talking about the Enneagram and your results, and you were reading all the different types. I'm sure you all have noticed there are no bad personality types. No matter what type you end up scoring
You're
on this exam,
of some kind.
Yeah, or on another exam, they're all good in some way. And I bet you we can all... Let me finish my thought. Sorry. I bet you we can all relate to any one of these types. So anyway, that's just a thought, which maybe the Enneagram with addressing like the quote unquote in times of stress is maybe trying to shed light on some parts of our personality that maybe aren't so likable, which is a fair attempt. But anyway, most personality tests, a lot of the ones that we talk about later, are mostly just like cheerleaders.
Yes. Oh, my one in particular was so much that I almost had to stop taking it because I was like, this is not even a test. But anyway, so yeah, that's the Enneagram. My impression was I was shocked at how not robust it was. I think its reputation is a lot higher than it deserves to be.
Well, and you do have a little packet here.
I mean, it gave me stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
it sure did.
Not nothing. I mean, it gives me a lot of stuff about these 9 archetypes, and that's it. And they are just character archetypes. Like, literally, they're characters, like we said, like the originalist or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
and just like in that, the next one, the MBTI / 16 personalities, also has archetypes.
It does.
16 to be exact.
16 of them. Yeah. And just in comparison to the Enneagram, I thought the MBTI was a lot more in-depth, a lot more fun, honestly. And it felt... and this is an issue that I have with literally every single one of these tests. They're not made for neurodivergent people, especially like not somebody with like a neurodivergent profile like mine, who is like autistic and maybe also has ADHD, but like they're not made for that. Like they interpret like some stuff like that, like executive dysfunction or other things like that are literally interpreted as like laziness and stuff like that. So it's pretty annoying, but not to say that
or gives you 2 options and you're like,
neither.
Both of these suck.
Exactly.
I would never do either of these.
Yeah. So, and just a quick reminder, I took the 16 personalities version of the test, which is a combination of the MBTI and the Big 5. But it was, like I said, it was good. It was free. All the ones that I'm going to talk about that I took are free. But tell us a little bit about the MBTI.
So the MBTI is kind of broken up into 4 different things. The 16 personalities as an additional thing, which we'll talk about.
Did you know technically there's 32 personalities now? We'll talk about it.
Are you talking about the additional, like turbulent versus, what is it, assertive?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll talk about that.
Yep.
But originally it's broken up into 4 different sections, right? So extroversion, which like in the Big 5, you'll see is either E or I, right? Either you lean more extroverted or you lean more introverted. And this is just really about where you get your energy. The second one is basically how you take in the world. And you can either be intuitive or sensory, meaning that you take in the world through your senses or through your intuition, meaning is something representative of something else? Like, oh, this coffee reminds me of drinking coffee with my parents. Or am I taking this coffee in based on my senses? Like, oh, it's hot, it's creamy, it's in a glass cup, that kind of thing. So that's either you can score an N for intuitive or S for sensory.
Yeah.
Next is how you how you make decisions, basically. With your feelings or with your thoughts, right? Thinking or feeling. And that's measured with an F or a T. And then judging or perceiving, that's maybe more how you organize your world. So judging is not judging like you're judging people, for example, or judging things. It's more so, actually maybe more so like judging things, but judging like time, perspective, adhering to deadlines, having things planned out. That's more judging. Perceiving is more so go with the flow, right? You're perceiving things and you're kind of adjusting and adapting as you go. So these are the types of people that like, yeah, maybe don't necessarily need a deadline, can be easily adaptable, can go with the flow. The 16 personalities also adds this additional part or element, like this turbulent or assertive. And I believe it's just how stable or solid, consistent your answers are in that. Because, like, for example, I think about I versus E for, like, extroversion, introversion. Like, depending on where I'm at in life or where I'm at in a given day, I can score I or E. I'm pretty go-between. So I would say that's pretty turbulent. Like, I'm not either or it's not very consistent. For me, like, feeling, for example, I've always been an F. Maybe that's more a little bit more assertive.
Okay.
What did you get? Because when I took mine, I didn't take any of these personality tests. We're kind of just going off of Corey's. But I have taken these throughout the years, which is why I didn't choose to take them now.
Also, she's busy, y'all.
I scored an INFP.
You're INFP?
I'm INFP the last time I took it.
Oh, that's interesting. We're very close.
Yes, we are very close. Corey scored.
I am an INFJ. So,
which makes so much sense, especially after today. Oh my God.
Talk about it. What does that mean?
The J, the perceiving versus judging. Like, you're a very timely person. We were trying to go to the market before we went to a movie today, and I completely misjudged it. Misjudged because I'm not judging. I misjudged the time, and we had to cut out going to the market and go straight to the movie. But anyway.
That's more about you.
What? No.
About your judging versus perceiving, not about my judging versus perceiving.
Well, you called it. You're like, I don't think we're going to have enough time.
INFJ is introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging. My highest, my heaviest.
Your most assertive?
Well, I guess I would say like my scores that were most strong in one direction. Intuitive over observant, I was 84%, so I'm like way, way, way more like that. And introverted versus extroverted, I'm 82% versus 18% introverted. So, pretty interesting. The thing about this is like, I don't know that it really tells you anything that you don't know. Yeah. And the other thing about a lot of these tests is like, you give them literally 100 answers to questions, and at the end, it's like, hey, we know all about you. And it's like, yeah.
You freaking better.
I just told you everything about me.
But yeah, this is also broken up into like fun little characters, right? Like I believe mine is like the meteor.
You're the meteor. Everybody look
out. No, I'm the mediator.
Cool. Oh yeah.
What are you?
I'm the advocate.
Ooh.
That's cool. I'm proud to have that one.
Yeah, honestly, that totally fits you, and I feel like the meteor. The meteor?
You do feel like the meteor.
Anyway.
I mean, you are a therapist, I would say.
I know. Yeah.
I know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, for me, a lot of these persons, like, they're like, not anything new. Yes, it's like, it's just a fun new way of thinking about it. It's all information y'all have known. Yeah. It's just...
The fun...
someone said it differently and it hit a little different, you know?
And the fun thing about these is like, you take it, your friends take it, and you compare scores, and they don't really mean a tremendous amount, but you know, it's fun.
Yeah. Can you talk to us about the color personality test that you took? The Korean TikTok virality one?
You want to skip Big Five?
Oh, did you take the Big Five?
I did.
Oh,
Big Five is actually my favorite.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that maybe that was kind of lumped in with the previous one.
No, I'm so sorry. I did take... The Big Five is a component of the 16 personalities, but I took the Big Five, like the actual Big Five.
All right, let's hear it.
So
let's hear about your experience.
It's super robust. It's very boring to take. This is my favorite one I'm talking about. It's so much more detailed than the other ones. the thing that is really important about this one is that this one is backed by academic science, which is why it doesn't give you something like a character at the end, or like it doesn't, give you an archetype or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like it gives you 5 scores.
To its boringness.
Exactly. So the more boring, the more academically robust. So, like I said, it was pretty boring to take, but the results are so incredibly detailed. It gives you the scores on the big 5 personality traits, which, as a reminder, are neuroticism, extroversion, openness, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. And then also you get individual scores on 6 different aspects of each one of those 5 traits. So like for neuroticism, the components are anxiety, anger, depression, self-consciousness, immoderation, and vulnerability. And it gives you a write-up of like your score and what a high score or a low score means in each one of these categories. So it's super robust. There's tons and tons of information in it. It's almost like, I would say, too much information for the layperson, because it also doesn't give you like, note that like these two are really high. Look, like that's an interesting correlation. Like you kind of have to do that. It doesn't tell you how to read it
necessarily.
Right. So
or how to make sense of it.
Like so, exactly. So I think you probably can if you pay for that, but I'm promoting the free versions here. So I had to do my own kind of like conclusions and stuff.
It seems like this one also doesn't really shy away from like negative,
right,
connotations or
absolutely. I mean,
characters.
Like, having a really high neuroticism trait is not
but, like awesome. High anxiety, high anger, or something. Yeah.
So my scores were neuroticism was my top, followed by openness, then agreeableness, conscientiousness, and extroversion. Neuroticism was like way, way, way my highest one.
Shocker.
I know, right? But some interesting correlations that I saw, like this is the kind of stuff that you can see if you take this one. Not that like I'm a shill for this one, but this one was by far the most like evidence-based. So I had maximum scores in both immoderation and cautiousness, which is really interesting because that means I'm super impulsive, but also I'm constantly pulling back on the brakes. So like I'm constantly like go, stop, go, stop, which I really feel that. I have a high assertiveness, but a low gregariousness, which means like I don't like to talk to like any random person, but like in specific contexts, I can be almost hard. An extrovert. Mm-hmm. So like a contextual extrovert. So like this podcast is a good example of me being a contextual extrovert.
That makes total sense. I feel like with your new job, I'm sure like some of the people that you work with are like, Corey's like such a friendly guy.
Yeah, he talks all the time.
Can't get him to shut up.
Yeah, I know. It's just because I really like it there. High morality and low trust is like justice sensitivity, and like a lot of people who would score that way have a history of like being let down by the system. Just some stuff that I thought was, and some other stuff too that I thought was really interesting with like what I know about my own neurodivergence.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So that one gets my endorsement. If you're going to take any of them, I mean,
it feels very valid.
Yeah. This is one that you could like take this and then talk to your therapist about it. Versus I mean, you could take any of these to a therapist and they'd be like, okay, we can talk about this, but like this is real.
And let me be fair, like there have been times where I have recommended my clients to take some of these exams.
Yeah. I mean, they're popular for a reason. They're very accessible.
And we'll talk about it more, but like that is part of the.
That's one of the okay ways to use these.
Yes, that's I guess part of the what's the word I'm looking for?
I think you're getting at that the purpose of these is
part of the purpose, of these exams is really to start a conversation, right? To gain some insight, like I said, to have things hit a little different so that we better understand both ourselves and these parts of ourselves. Back to IFS. Anyway.
And also, your therapist is going to know what you're talking about if you bring in your MBTI numbers or letters, or whatever. Okay, so moving on from the big 5, let's talk about that color personality. Okay, so full disclosure, the actual original trendy one from Korea no longer offered by the game. Okay. It's off the internet, but there's tons and tons and tons of imposters out there. And I took one of the imposters and it sucked. But the original one, as we said, was from Korea. It blew up on TikTok because it's like aesthetically pleasing and it's really easy to share because it asks you just a few questions and assigns you a color name like Ocean Bay or Alice Blue. And then it kind of like can relate them to your MBTI type, or, it can kind of link it to other personality types. But the thing is, it has zero clinical utility, and it's only for fun. It's like it has nothing of value in it.
It's like finding your Bridgerton name. It's like take the first letter of your name and combine it with your street name that you grew up with,
What's your Captain Underpants name?
Yep. Yeah. Totally. That's what it kind of feels like.
So, like I said, that original one, I could not find that. It might still exist somewhere on the Korean internet, but I was not able to find it, obviously. But the one that I used it's just called Color Personality Test. It's the very first one if you Google Color Personality Test. This one stinks. This one is a cash grab. It feels like a cash grab. Because I noticed while I was taking it, it's just like, it's the worst one of all of them of just positive stuff. Like not having like a fully inclusive set of multiple choice answers. Like the entire time I felt like neither one. This does not describe me. I don't know who is taking this test. Some like type A person or like somebody who's like excelling in the corporate world. And I'm like, not me. So, maybe if you are in that world, you might like to take this dumb test that doesn't mean anything and has zero validity, but I would recommend skipping this one.
You might need to take it forward just at your corporate retreat.
If you're curious, I was equal parts blue and green. 0% red, everybody. You want me to tell you what that means? Nothing. No, I guess it means if you're green, you seek harmony and balance. And if you're blue, you're a thoughtful analyst. And it's like, whatever, dude. I'm both. Like, that's the whole spectrum. So anyway, I hated this one. I hated taking it. I don't have anything positive to say about it.
Seems like there's not a whole lot of insight there either.
No, it called me the strategist. Cool.
All right. Shall you talk about the attachment styles?
I would love to talk about this. Yes. So like I said before, attachment styles are not personality.
No, but they can be helpful in better understanding relationship dynamics.
Absolutely.
But they're also not static. I say this a lot to my clients that they think like, okay, you take this exam and you score as an anxious avoidant. That means you're anxious avoidant in all your relationships. No,
Wrong.
It might just mean that you're anxious avoidant in this particular relationship. This particular relationship created a dynamic that has brought out some anxious attachments within you.
Yeah.
So no, they're not static. They're not the end all be all.
And actually, that's something I was impressed with the test that I took, which was just the attachment styles test. You can just Google it. Is that it does ask questions for different relationships in your life. So it asks individually about your mom. It asks about your mother figure, I should say. Your mother figure, your father figure, your partner, if you're in a relationship, and your just in general, like how you are with people. So for what it's supposed to be used for, I thought it was a pretty good quiz. I mean, I think I answered like 50 questions on it, which is like, it's kind of like bog standard.
This is one that I recommend to clients.
Yeah. I mean, it's really useful. Like you said, it's not a personality test. It can't be used as a personality test because it's measuring something completely different. But what it does measure is really interesting. So you want to talk about what I got?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the different style. So my general attachment style, fearful avoidant. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Are you running for the hills right now?
No.
Oh, that's nice of you. Because I have good news. Our romantic relationship attachment style is secure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so great.
My attachment at work is secure.
That's cool.
Yeah. My overall self-esteem is low.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, it's a decent test. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, if any of my clients are listening and are interested in any of these things, I'd be more than happy to chat with y'all about them.
Yeah. One thing really important to note, like we talked about, this is not a personality test or whatever. This is also not like a litmus test for like whether or not you should date a person.
Correct. Okay, we're going to get into some of the ones that are more blurry on the edges.
Yeah, and in the middle parts too.
And
sometimes.
in the middle parts sometimes too.
Nice and doughy.
Starting with, why don't you talk about human design a little bit?
Okay, I didn't take this one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about human design. This is a modern test, but it combines elements of astrology and a bunch of other stuff to create what's called a body graph. It makes like what's called an energy blueprint for how you should make decisions, and it leans heavily into like the idea of constructs and treating personality as like a strategy for navigating life. But like we said, it includes astrology, which is like no shade to our astrological fans out there. We have to kind of like draw the line in science.
Yes, there is a line, right? There are some things that are empirically validated, peer-reviewed, things that have validity behind it, right?
Yes. And this one has sort of like woo-woo inputs and also woo-woo outputs. There's kind of a lot of woo-woo-ness.
And I don't know, I feel like the astrological ones or like the more mystic ones tend to be a little bit more static or tend to like lean into this, like, this is what it is. Like, obviously, like with your birth chart, like you can't change that. Like
Right.
you are, I'm always and will always be a Sagittarius. Unless they change that calendar.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, I mean, like it does kind of lean more so on this idea that things are static, which, as you know, we believe that they're not.
Right. Yeah.
But yes, with that, in astrology in general, I think that we think that they're fun to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, again, if you relate to certain aspects or qualities of your astrological sign or some of these, you know, I don't know, body graphs or whatever, then again, I care more about, like, what are you going to do with that information?
Right.
And so that's kind of like my thought with those things. The last one, the StrengthsFinder, I just have a fun little anecdote. Is that right?
Yeah.
This is a paid one that mostly
Yes.
like business bros, corporate execs will have you take. And my God, when I have not thought about the StrengthsFinder in literally like decades, but essentially my youth group leader made me freaking take this.
Really?
Yes, they made us like they would buy the book for us.
Oh boy.
And we had to take it. And I remember, like, they're just weird. It's weird. I don't know. Not my favorite. Also, the fact that I had to take it in youth group, I think, is strange. I remember one of mine was woo, which is winning over others.
Woo?
That was one of my strengths, was woo.
Yeah. This the StrengthsFinder, in addition to being loved by tech bros and business bros or whatever, it is loved by the religious community because it helps.
Oh dear God, is it?
It helps to identify what is called
Charismatic leaders, I'm sure.
God-given talents.
We did talk about those too.
Yeah, natural abilities for ministry and growth.
One of mine was discernment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually,
what are
I
you
think that was
discerning
one.
in a Christian
I think
context?
that was one of my strengths, was discernment, and I discerned I needed to get the out of there. Oh my God!
So those are the seven tests we're talking about today.
Seven dwarves.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that.
Varying levels of usability.
Yes, there is this other type of test that I think was much more common back in like Freudian, Jungian times.
Oh yeah.
And those are projective tests. So these were kind of used as diagnostic tests, personality tests. And projective tests, essentially, you are doing exactly that. You are projecting potentially subconscious thoughts, feelings, fears, desires onto ambiguous or vague stimuli. So some common projective tests include the Rorschach inkblot test, which many of us have probably heard or seen. Like,
what do you see in this inkblot?
Yes, it's essentially like, that folded piece of paper with inks in the middle, and it forms a very ambiguous blob.
Are they always okay, quick question about those. There are like official ink blots, right? Or is that not the case?
I feel like there are some tests that have their set of ink blots with them. That's like what they've used in their like data sets. But I don't think that there's like maybe there is like the Rorschach one, it's like those official ones. But
I guess what I'm saying is like, it's not just random ink blots. It's not just like the therapist goes home and does finger painting and comes back the next day.
Yes, I guess there are like certain sets that are associated to like certain responses.
Yeah.
And those certain responses allude to certain conditions or fears or desires or whatever.
I feel bad. I think my digression buried the lead that these are no longer commonly used.
They are no longer commonly used. Another very common projective test is the TAT. I forget what it stands for.
Thematic apperception test.
Yes, that. The TAT has like photos, like black and white images of certain scenes. And, these are very fun. I used to teach Psych 101 to freshmen in college. And personality assessments were very fun to talk about because putting some of these pictures up was just very funny. They are these like very vague scenes of like two characters or one character, and it's like depicting something. You have to write a story, right? And that story will shed light on what your subconscious is thinking, right? So a comment, like there's one scene that I can think of, and it's like a man getting up, there's a bed behind him, and there seems to be a lady there. I mean, and it's all very vague. Like, you can't totally tell if it's another woman, or if she's dead, or if she's asleep, or if she's happy, or if she's frowning. Like, they're all very, very vague. That's another test, I feel like, maybe, and I feel like it's very common. I see it while scrolling on socials, is like these tests where it's like negative space and positive space.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you see the
old woman or
the beautiful lady? Yes. Or do you see the butterfly or like this other thing,
the duck or the bunny,
right? So anyway,
people who don't know what we're talking about are like, are they making these up?
No, unfortunately. But those are all projective tests, and like I said, there is no right answer. It really just is meant to showcase inner thoughts.
So like you can probably tell just by listening to us talk about it that
they have low validity and low reliability. And that's really all we need to know.
Yeah. And like, we didn't even mention this, but like besides the blots, besides the being projective and everything, it also is interpreted by the therapist. So there's a third layer of like human interpretation and human error introduced. It's just like so not valid or precise to measure anything about a person.
So that's basically it. I mean, I think obviously we can also explore certain concerns that we have, of course, like we always talk about intersectionality.
Yeah, totally.
And a lot of these tests are based on, what's the acronym?
WEIRD. It stands for Western Educated, Industrialized, Rich, and Democratic Societies.
Yes.
So think of America, think of other wealthy nations.
Yes, exactly.
Western specifically.
And so it really does highlight like certain personalities are like better, sought out for, are healthy. I'll hear that a lot, and that's just, not always the goal, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is individualism always the healthy option? Anyway.
Yeah. And kind of like on that same deal of like, if a test is supposed to measure leadership, but it's basing it on traits like outspokenness, it might unfairly penalize someone who comes from cultures where like humility is valued. For example, like if you're measuring someone's leadership skills based on their ability to boast about themselves, somebody who's been conditioned to not do that will not score very highly, regardless of their leadership skills, because it's a construct.
Correct. So you can see why there are so many issues with personality assessments in general.
Yeah, especially using them to like
definitively do anything.
Yeah, to like direct a huge group of people to do something.
So anyway, what we do, or what we, I guess, are highlighting is that these are fun.
Yes. Yeah, use them for fun.
They're fun. they can be very insightful, and gaining insight on ourselves is valuable, right? We know then what to do with that information. We can better utilize that information. Knowing that I have time blindness might help me better organize myself so that I'm not always late to everything. Understanding that about ourselves, I think, can be a huge step, especially if you're exploring like your mental health. But yes, it's not the end all be all. It is just another piece of the puzzle.
Good ways to use these as a vocabulary builder for finding words for feelings that you don't necessarily have the words for yet. As a connection tool, besides like finding people who are like you, building empathy for people who are not like you. And just like, if I see that I'm scoring, like, for example, low in agreeableness, maybe that's something that I could work on if I have a desire to do that, you know, like, because like we said, personality is a moving thing.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about this, but like a big element of a lot of these personality tests is like how they contribute to your love life, to your career, to, you know,
Making friends,
right. And that's kind of what we mean is like there you can use some of that to inform your decisions, but that doesn't mean anyone is right over the other.
Right. You want to know some of the strange work,
Let's hear 'em.
job recommendations I've heard? Chief of staff.
Oh my God.
For who? A clinical psychologist.
I have always said that.
I prefer research psychologist.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Those are my chief of staff of what? You know, risk management director. Like, what are you even saying to me right now? I take pictures of plants and I do billing.
Yeah.
Like,
and you do great at both.
hey, thanks. So we just talked about some good ways to use these. Some really bad ways to use these that we see people do all the time, especially on social media, is like using whatever results as a get out of jail free card to like use your type to justify harmful behavior or something like that. Or like as a relationship deal breaker, like ruling out friends and partners or even like employees based on their type, you know? I only vibe with other, you know, introverts or whatever. I can only hire those.
Another one that we commonly see is pigeonholing, you know, particularly in your career. I need to be in one of these fields, or these fields don't, you know, necessarily vibe with me. Which, like I said, yes, can be insightful, valued information to help you make an informed decision, but not the end all be all.
Yeah.
And shouldn't have you feeling stuck.
Right. And speaking of end all be all, if you've taken these tests before, that doesn't mean that your results are going to stay the same forever. Like Jocelyn said, she took it forever ago. She probably scored differently now. You know, a test you took 10 years ago should not be dictating your life now.
No.
So yeah.
That's all we had for y'all.
That's all we had for you. I wanted to say we had a couple submitted little gratefuls.
Stop. No, we didn't.
Yes.
Tell me them.
Okay, so from Jolene, grateful for a pottery gift from Jocelyn, actually.
No way.
Yes, and from Chloe, grateful that their partner is the calm to their chaos.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's really nice. If you want to submit a little grateful, all you have to do is go to purplefriends.org. There's a nice little submission form there. Just do it. Just do it.
Please.
We'll read it. Seriously,
Yes,
we'll read
we'll
it.
read
All
it.
of them. Seriously.
And I had no clue that we had any, so I was very happily pleased to hear that we had some.
Yeah, look
Thank
at how
you
much
so
that
much.
brightened Jocelyn's day. Don't you want to do that?
Yeah, thank you so much, y'all.
Yeah,
Thanks for listening, tuning in. Thanks for having a wonderful day and being yourselves.
Yeah, and don't forget to visit us, like I said, purplefriends.org. Follow us on social, rate and review our podcast, and please tell somebody that it exists. And also, if you're feeling up for it, let us know if we forgot any personality tests, like especially if there's any trending ones that we missed.
Yeah, we would love to know about that.
I'd love to take it, see what it's made of.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We hope you have a wonderful week. We love you.
Yeah, once again, I'm your co-host, Co.
And I'm your co-host, Joe.
And this has been Purple Friends. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye. Purple Friends is an independent podcast produced by Vibe Therapy Services and is not a substitute for a session with a real therapist.
Our show art was created by me, Jocelyn Lang.
And our theme music is Nature Nurture by me, The Implied Bear.
Vibe Therapy is an Illinois-based private practice servicing clients in person at our Wheaton office and virtually throughout the state of Illinois.
We accept Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO, Aetna, and Cigna Insurance. We also offer cash pay rates, financial assistance, and free 15-minute initial consultations where you can get a feel for our practice.
Think of it as a vibe check. Therapy doesn't have to feel clinical. Visit vibetherapyservices.com today to see if we vibe.
Thanks for listening.